Mahatma Gandhi slept with two young ladies.
This is the way social media nowadays portray him.
Today, we are not here to worship Gandhi and not to demonize him, but to examine history with more honesty. Gandhi was never my personal idol since childhood.
In schools and public narratives, it was often presented in a way that Gandhi alone stood for India's freedom movement.
That is why many people grew up by believing that the title Father of Nation was officially granted to him by the Constitution or the Government of India.
But as curious young minds began exploring history more deeply, many discovered that no official national title, such as Father of the Nation, legally exists for any Indian citizen after independence.
For me, Gandhi was only one among many of the freedom fighters, important, influential, and historically significant, but not only pillar of India's freedom struggle. So when I came to learn about the controversial side of Gandhi, I didn't experience any feeling of an ideal breaking. But realizing about the flawed side of a historical figure, would that be a sole reason to demonize completely him? I don't think so. Let us begin with facts.
Yes, Gandhi conducted controversial celibacy experiments during the final years of his life. He slept beside young women, including Manu Gandhi and Abba Gandhi. And yes, many of his own associates were uncomfortable with these actions.
This is not hidden history.
In fact, Gandhi himself openly wrote and spoke about these practices. Unlike many leaders who hide their personal lives, Gandhi documented even his most controversial decisions publicly.
To understand this, we must completely understand about Gandhi's obsession with brahmacharya, a spiritual belief that deeply rooted in Indian traditions.
For Gandhi, brahmacharya was not simply avoiding physical intimacy. He believed true self-control meant conquering desire completely, mentally, emotionally, and physically.
By the 1940s, Gandhi believed that his moral purity strengthened his spiritual and political power.
He even thought conquering desire would strengthen his ability to stop communal violence during the horrific riots of Partition era India.
For many people, these ideas may be strange and disturbing, but for Gandhi, it is a spiritual practice.
Many viral videos present these events using modern emotional language while ignoring historical context.
They say Gandhi was secretly hiding this, history erased it, and moreover, he is a sexually motivated person.
But serious biographies and academic discussions have covered these topics for decades. Yes, older textbooks and public narratives often simplified Gandhi into a near perfect national icon. That criticism is valid.
But simplifying him into a pure villain today is another form of distortion. The real issue is not whether the events happen, but whether the creators are using it fairly or only for shock value. At the same time, we should not dismiss the criticism.
Gandhi held enormous influence over the women around him. The age gap and power imbalance raise serious ethical questions even today. Some of his closest allies criticize these experiments strongly.
So this is not about blindly defending Gandhi. Human beings are complex. Even great leaders have contradictions. The danger is that today's social media reduces every historical figure into either a monster or a completely saint.
But real history is rarely that simple. Gandhi led one of the largest non-violent movements in human history. He inspired civil rights movements across the world.
At the same time, Gandhi's personal experiments remain deeply controversial. Both truths can exist together. Gandhi is not a person to worship blindly, and also not to corner him as a one-dimensional villain. Comment your opinion below. My commentary will continue in the next chapter of history.